little to no pressure tonight, all things considered?
I think the Golden State Warriors have a ton of pressure because if the Houston Rockets beat the brakes off of them today at home without KD, it's a quick turnaround on Sunday when all of their big-time players just played a lot of minutes on Friday night.
But if that starts to happen, Kerr pulls everyone, right? I mean, that's classic. If it starts to become ridiculous.
It gets out of hand, yeah.
We were watching the Raptors game yesterday.
Y'all remember that game 6 in OKC that Klay had?
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember what happened last week.
I don't remember yesterday, if we're being honest. Draymond. What do you think?
Day, he been balling, man.
He has been.
No, he stepped up his game.
Been balling.
He understands the moment.
But I tell you what, he'll be shooting a lot of three-point shots if I play for Houston.
Yes.
He gonna get a chance to ball tonight because I'm gonna give him any shot he wants.
Absolutely.
I'm almost afraid to ask you guys, what do we think happens tonight?
Oh, I got the Rockets tonight.
Paul already took his hand.
Are you just doing that because that's it?
No, I would have took the Rockets even if KD was playing because they play really good at home. They beat them twice in a row, so I'm going Rockets.
I think they win in blowout fashion.
The Rockets?
Blowout. 15 plus.
15. I mean, what was the line? 7, 7.5?
15 plus tonight.
All right.
I'll bet the line and go with the Rockets.
3 Rockets.
The last time we picked the Rockets, all three of us.
Well, guess what I'm going to say? I think Golden State closes this thing down.
That's just because she's
they
a hater.
They take a couple days off and see him on Tuesday.
Wow.
She's a hater. That's all hate.
I'm a hater, or do I see the future?
In wagers.
Hey.
That's why she's last place in wagers.
6 between the Warriors and the Houston Rockets coming up next. Mike Breen, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, Lisa Salter.
Mark Jackson should be in L.A. with an interview with the Lakers. What's going on?
Preach.
Gerald Green got to go for 30.
Get off of that TV.
Facts.
Got to go for 30.
All right, Michelle, the Toyota Center is going to be packed and loud as these Western Conference Finals have been absolutely riveting. Each game not decided until the final minute. Well, the Rockets are facing elimination, trailing the 2-time defending champions 3-2. However, the Warriors, without their best player, Kevin Durant, out for the rest of this series with a calf injury. Will we see a Game 7? Or will the Warriors advance to the conference final for the 5th consecutive year? As we welcome you to NBA Courtside. Home stretch of these NBA playoffs. Already 2 Game 7 set for tomorrow in Denver and in Toronto, while Milwaukee sits back and waits for their next opponent. What will we have? Will we have a Game 7 in this series? We'll find out tonight. And good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Lisa Salters with us as well. Number of Rockets players, a number of Warriors players the last couple of days have said games like this is why we play. Such a huge game with such big ramifications. Mark, for the Rockets, the reason they play is to try and keep their season alive. And for that to happen, James Harden must lead them.
Your stars have to be stars in moments like this. And that points the finger directly at James Harden. He's got to be spectacular. 48 minutes of spectacular basketball. That doesn't mean he's got to get 50, but he's got to be an elite playmaker. His ability to use his size and strength to get wherever he wants on the floor. This is outstanding defense, but the great ones disregard outstanding defense and eliminate it with outstanding offense. The ability to take and make tough shots. You say, well, we're going to put a bigger guy on you. He has massive angles. Get to his spot, and simply put, he's got this down pat, the little teardrop in traffic. Spectacular. Making plays in transition. Put big guys on your hip, upper body strength like a fullback, shield, the shot block attempt, and finish. Klay Thompson is not about scoring. Take advantage of what the defense gives you. And in this situation, it's playmaking. Put guys in position to be successful. But it's not just going to be James Harden. Spectacular 3 quarters. The 4th quarter, Game 5, he was subpar. Matter of fact, he wasn't good. But he needs help, Mike. And Chris Paul has got to be Chris Paul.
Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors need some help because their best player, the leading scorer in the playoffs, Kevin Durant, out with that calf injury. Jeff, they were able to survive in Game 5 with that great 4th quarter led by Steph Curry. What does Curry and the Warriors need to do in Game 6?
Well, their depth has been decimated with the loss of Cousins and now Durant. And so they're playing with absolutely zero margin of error. So Curry's got to turn it back to MVP Steph Curry. The ability off the dribble to create shots, and when he gets the right switch and they want to switch their center on him, he's got to absolutely abuse that. And then Klay Thompson has to get free for these type of catch and shoot shots, whether it's off baseline screens or spot ups. You see what Curry did over the last part of Game 5. He came alive. He's going to have to do it from start to finish.
Of course, because Durant will be out from start to finish tonight. With more on that, let's check in with Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, Mike. Well, as you said, of course, Kevin Durant out tonight for Game 6. But if there were a Game 7 on Sunday, the Warriors have already ruled him out for that game as well. They are calling it a calf strain, and certainly that is a much better diagnosis than the initial concern was when it happened in the third quarter of Game 5 on Wednesday. They thought early on it could be an Achilles injury, but still the Warriors do not know when Durant will be able to return to the floor. He did not travel with the team here to Houston. Instead, he's back in the Bay Area getting treatment. He will be reevaluated in about a week. Now, Steve Kerr told us that it is realistic to think that Durant will be able to return sometime this season, but he said he just doesn't know when. It could be a week from now, it could be 2 weeks from now, it could be even longer. Mike?
All right, Lisa Thacker. Meanwhile, Klay Thompson, coming off his best game of this series, had 27 points in Game 5. Rockets and Warriors, Game 6, packed house, coming up shortly.
Say aloha to Papa John.